Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, the Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. And I am, of course, your host, Fam the Fabulous, coming to you with the third installment of our Sip and Share for 2022. Now, if you're new to the channel and are not familiar with the Sip and Share, it's really where I just sit down with a nice favorite beverage and I give you some updates about what's going on in my neck of the creative woods, my little area of the universe. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you're not currently a subscriber, now's a great time to hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you can receive updates on when I post and upload future content. Now, along with, variety of chats, I also discuss anything that I'm working on, the things that I've worked on in the past week, what I'm reading, planning, and what I'm sipping on, obviously, and what I'm watching. This week I am sipping on the Twinings French vanilla chai. It is heavenly. Considering that it is freezing outside, most of the country is experiencing some very low temperatures, snow, and so on and so forth. We actually got snow. I'll show you guys a picture of Josh out there monkeying around in the little snow flurries that we got. Poor child, born and raised in Georgia. If only he were born in New York, he'd have kept himself inside. Nevertheless, he enjoyed himself out there, just in awe and amazement of those huge flakes that were dropping. I personally just sat and watched him from the comfort of the front window with a cup of tea. I'm too old to enjoy that. Well, I still enjoy it, but from the other side of the window. So the vanilla chive by Twinings, the fine black tea, perfectly balanced with the flavors of vanilla and savory spices of cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, and ginger. It is very delicious. So grab yourself some of that. Now let's talk about what I'm watching. All things Robert De Niro. I am on a Robert De Niro binge. Okay, we're talking about Ronin, The Score, Heat, City by the Sea, Goodfellas, Casino, all of the good Robert. He didn't know it, but I was going to marry him a couple of decades back, but I decided on somebody else. But, and I know that probably was a devastating blow to him, despite the fact that he might have already been married. But nevertheless, I think it was best for both of us that, I allow him to further his career in acting while I, went on to, become a wife and mom and whatever else, and creative. If I had married Robert De Niro when I intended to, I might not be on YouTube, guys. So I think after all is said and done, it probably was a good choice. Nevertheless, so that's what I'm watching. And then after I'm done watching all that I can watch on him, I'll watch Al Pacino. Those are my two, high school sweethearts. Granted, neither of them knew about me, but still in all, in my mind, it was a toss-up between either of the two. What am I listening to? Craft podcasts. We've got The Paper Outpost and Reality Arts. I'm also listening to a little bit of gospel because around this time of the year when it's overcast, the sun isn't out as much, my mood is reflective of that. And so I try to stay upbeat and keep my inspiration, my sources, renewed. What am I reading? Well, y'all know I'm finishing up in the last 6 days of that year through the Bible in a year devotional that, again, I've been working on for 2 years. Hush, don't judge me. I'm also reading up on prophetesses in the Bible. I am in a leadership training course, a year-long one. And so I really need to get more versed and just a little bit more background on the women prophets of the Bible, because they was just as bad as the men. You know what I'm saying? They made some great forecasts by thus saith the Lord. So that, I need to become familiar with them. Mm. Also, by the way, I like the little bit of salt with my sweetness. So a good saltine cracker with some good sweet tea. I mean, I'm not talking about sweet tea, but tea that's sweet. Okay. Now, okay, I'm not gonna crunch in your ear. Yes, I am. Okay, what am I working on? The Sister Friend Journal, obviously. But this particular week coming up, I'll be working on monthly challenges by Artsy Solutions, and we're baking and crafting meats, along with some jelly prints. Yeah, some jelly prints. I plan to put that into my schedule. I don't know when and how I'll be able to squeeze it in, but I definitely need to get some jelly prints rolling because I want to add those into my Sister Friend Journal. I don't have a lot on hand, and I've been watching a lot of different techniques over the past month or so. So I want to try and implement those. There's Foil, I think it's called Froil Arts or Froil something, and then Robin McClendon, and there's a couple other ones that those two honestly have very similar styles. Not exactly, and I'm gonna leave that at that. I'm gonna leave that there, but you can learn quite a bit as far as, just stepping outside of just traditional jelly prints, but from those two. Now, and I believe, Robin McClendon has a variety of courses on her techniques and additional art style techniques, scripting art and so on and so forth. So look them up, Robin McClendon, and I believe it's Froil Arts. If it's not Froil, it's Foil. Look it up and put jelly print in there, and then it'll take you to them. Now, coming up next, okay, lastly, what am I planning? The Lovely Canvas will be, I think, is the last week of this month. It's not actually the last week of the month. It'll be fourth week of this month. And then also Throwback Thursday will be this week, where you'll see a post in the community feed, a vote on which of the items that I was working on last year should I redo. So look for that in the community feed, a little poll, and then I'm going to work on, I think Throwback Thursday is either this Thursday or next Thursday. Either which way, that's what I'm planning. And coming up next will be Project Shares not Dollar Tree haul, in a little haul that I picked up from a thrift store that I'll tell you, you'll hear more about that in that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right. So I went by a thrift store in our community called Drop and Shop, and it's a faith-based thrift store. They receive donations from the community, and the prices are not like Goodwill and Salvation Army. They're very, very affordably priced for those who really, can't afford to shop brand new. And when Josh was small, and my husband was, the economy was horrible, honestly. The housing crisis was a major thing that interrupted both of our incomes. Nevertheless, just to make sure we could make ends meet, I would often shop there for things like, sweaters and little sweatpants and sleepers and stuff like that. Things that, he might not leave the house in because, when they're 6 months and 12 months, my goodness, they're going to wear something twice. And you've been and spent $18 on a nice little snowsuit or jacket, and they'll wear it a couple times, and it's a wrap. So nevertheless, I used to patronize that place, and then as God bless, we were able to, start buying the typical way that, going to a regular, traditional box stores and stuff. And then at that time, I would go on and donate whatever he could no longer fit to there. So we've been donating there at this point for about 8 or 9 years. But every once in a while, I'll slide in there because I ain't got no business doing it. But I'll slide in there and look at the craft section because they have a pretty decent craft section. Okay, it's usually nice vintage stuff. Great book section too. They also supply Christian literature for free. So I've used them when I was a grief share leader, grief counseling, what have you. They provided me with a lot of literature to provide to hand out and to our members of the group. Anyway, so let's just jump into what I found. Some laces. I found some laces, some vintage laces. So we've got, and then I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it all. Look at that. Look at that goodness. And it's nice and thin, so it'll be great. This will make a great like little pocket, you know what I mean? On a journal. Oh my goodness. Nice little pocket. This is old. It's patina underneath there. Okay. So we have that. I don't know how many yards it is or anything. I didn't measure, and because I didn't care. Then look what else I found. Look at this trim. Look at that. That is wild. I absolutely love it. I would love for that to go at the top of a page so that the can hang out, or maybe even on the edge. We'll have to see. But I love that color. You guys know I'm all for turquoises and teals and in blue, shades of blue. This is navy rickrack. Look at that packaging. Look at that packaging. I've got to save that. 25 cents I paid. I don't even think I paid that for it because I've known the owner for so many years. And anytime I go in there, we're like running our mouths for 20 to 30 minutes. Some more vintage bias tape. 10 cents they gave it to me for. J&P coats. Boy, they've been around for a minute, huh? We've got some seam tape. Look at that dusty blue color. I love it. Dusty turquoise it's called. Stretch lace. It probably have not 1 ounce of stretch left in it. And then they also had these tags. It looks like it came from Hobby Lobby, and I know it was $5.99. I got it for 50 cents. 25 pieces. It doesn't look like there's 25 in here, but even if it's half of that, I'm perfectly fine with it. Now look at this trim here. I thought this was really pretty. I love the ones that have like an eyelet feel to it. Look at that. That is so nice. So nice. I'll put that back. And I think I paid 25 cents for that. Worth every bit of it and then some, considering what I plan to do with it. Look at this little doily I got. I'm going to tea dye this because it has an imperfection on here somewhere. Made in China. Who'd have known? And I've got to take that tag off there. I wonder why would they put such a huge tag on something so small. But this will make a cute little tuck spot. And then a couple of pieces of lace trim. Let's see. Purple, which I don't use very often, but I'm sure I'll find some usage for it. But I love this green color. It reminds me of the olive green that is in the alcohol ink spray, or yeah, alcohol ink spray that Felicia got. That's in where baking and crafting meets the sweets. The shop called the sweets. Isn't that pretty? I love that color. And then, last but not least, and I am not buying anything in the month of January. I'm on a freeze, a spending freeze. This just, I'll let you know how much I paid for this, and you'll know why. All right, so there's that trim. Very pretty. This is in there. I love the thin trim. This is pretty stretchy, which is great. I don't know why it would be great, because I have no intentions of using it on fabric. I mean, you know, as in seaming. There's this one. It's stapled, but you can kind of see. It's having a hard time focusing with all that stuff in front. And then this thin little one here. It's cream. Yeah, they're all different. All different. So I got all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 items for a grand total of $2.51. Check out your local thrift stores. You know, any place that you donate to. Great place to pick up your vintage items, you know, vintage books and lace trims and fabrics, you know. And remember, not just fabrics as in fabrics, but if you can find fabric, vintage clothing, you can always deconstruct it and use it for journal covers or, you know, collaging and, you know, things of that nature. So anyways, that is what I purchased, and I scraped that out of my car, guys. Out of my car and at the bottom of my purse, okay? I refused to put anything on the card because, well, I'm not spending any money this month. I really need to recuperate from last month with our family coming in from out of town and the updates that we made to the house and the Christmas gifts for everybody. Mama's on a spending freeze. Got to get these bills on point. They're on point, but you know, got to get the savings back together. So that is what I have in terms of my haul. Now, what I've worked on this week, as you guys know, we're working on the index card art. It's not necessarily a challenge, but it is. You know, I mean, if it's not something you do every day, then, you know, or on a regular basis, then it technically is a challenge. So this week we worked on the word prompt for this particular week was wind. Last week was grace. So that's what we're on right now. And I, of course, use my most favorite vocal artist and actress as a source of inspiration. And so that is what I came up with. And I shall add that to the box. And then also what I created was for the sister friend journal that I'm, you know, just slowly working on because it's mine and I can. We created a writing board. And as you know, the writing board is what you put in between the pages, because once I get finished with this journal, these pages are going to have like laces and trims on them. And so if this page has lace and trim on it and a pocket and some embellishments, then I go write on the next page, or I should say if it's this page and I try to write on this page, it's going to be lumpy. So the best thing you can do is create a writing board to always have a nice smooth writing surface underneath. And so I took a cereal board, some trim, some scraps, hard cardstock, and some washi from Felicia, and a printable from Artsy Solutions, Sonia Stovers, multimedia digitals, and very quickly and easily put it together. I didn't even sew it, and I'm not going to, because I really just want to. I don't want any, as little as possible, the any type of texture. So that's where we're at with that. Now, so that's the haul. That is the projects that I worked on this week. Stay tuned for this week's index card series, in addition to the Throwback Thursday, and monthly challenges that I'll be working on by Artsy Solutions and Where Baking and Crafting Meets. All right. See you in a bit. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the haul, the project shares, and this week's sip and share. Again, if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button so that you can be a part of this crafty community, these brilliant creatives here that provide constant feedback. It's like a little family. I want to give a special shout out to the members here that are now patrons of my Patreon channel. That's Sonia Stover, Roberta, and Alicia of We're Baking and Crafting Meats. Thanks so much for supporting me here on the channel as well as on Patreon. And I encourage anyone else who would like to view the videos at full length, because effective 2022, January 2022, majority of the videos will be 20 minutes and shorter. And sometimes that may entail me speeding up the parts where I'm actually doing the work. So you may not get the full instruction, but I will provide you with basic information in the beginning and as much as I can in text form on the screen. So you won't be missing out on a whole lot, but if you want to get more in depth and you want to follow along with me on the journey, head on over to Patreon. There's a link below in the description box. There is free content on there, but as you know, the tiered content is, or the content that is dedicated for the different tiers also comes with different perks and different challenges. And, you know, so I try to make sure that there's an incentive for anyone who wants to support me to do so over there. But I will continuously provide content here on YouTube because this is where it all started. And so with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting me up and through 2021 and who are still here now actively participating in the challenges and the swaps, and with comments and feedback. And also, I do want to encourage you guys to head over to the Maker Exchange on Facebook so that you can post any of your creations. If you're working on some of the challenges, you'll be free to upload your photos there and then get involved in some of the conversations that are going on there, because we actually have a blast over there as well. So I'm between Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, and YouTube, I try to make sure that you guys can find me wherever you are at. I'm also on Discord, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day, nevertheless, because that's for the patrons. I want to thank you all so much for watching and spending your time with me. And so until we're back together here on YouTube and Patreon, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafting. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.